work, you dirty bastard.
All right. Let's try that again. I'm Todd. We're playing SideQuest Live. Dungeons and Dragons. We're making this up. Even more than usual. It's going to be a weird one. So it's maybe not canon. It might be canon. We will see. It should be interesting, if nothing else. So, due to
dream.
Yeah, Bella couldn't be here, so we're gonna work around it, and we're gonna pause that. So, depending on what happens tonight. All right, let's just dive in, shall we? Everybody ready?
Ready to over be.
I totally
tell us what we're doing, so.
for days. Oh, you'll figure this out.
Is it gonna be a battle royale? Is that what it's gonna be?
That's right. We're just all gonna kill each other.
You're not gonna kill anyone. Let's be honest, Darcy.
Maybe I'll play someone else. You don't know.
All right, I'm setting the scene.
I'm setting the fucking
The other guy.
All right. The ground is surprisingly cold against your back. The oppressive heat of the hellscape air doesn't seem to let up at night, but it does temporarily offer you some respite. In the grove, where you are, resting and finding a moment of solace under the guardianship of the night hag, Mad Maggie. This is a flashback. You ready for this? The questioning looks, I will take those as yes. All right. You find yourselves in the dreamscape. Time and dreams moves funny. Paths taken, paths offered, paths not taken. You've watched Archibald Cunningham approach the door he recognized from his youth. And in a moment of distraction, of Falurie fleeing from this massive astral dreadnought, come barreling through this one archway door. In the confusion, Archibald quietly slips away into this door. So far, never to be seen again. Here we diverge. You turn, wondering what to do next, and you see in front of you, Falurie, an archway. No longer the astral plane from which you fled, but the swirling clouds of home. You've been here a long time in Avernus, and now you find yourself looking just a few feet away from the comforts of home. And this time, the temptation is a little too much. The others calling, "What do we do? Where do we go?" And you walk. Falurie has entered
Over here, guys.
the doorway. Yeah, Falurie has entered the doorway leading to one of his memories, hopes, fears, dreams. It might be made up. Who knows? You all have a few seconds to decide, who are you going to follow? Are you going after Archibald? Are you going back? Are you going forward to the Holophant, awaiting at the end of the hall? The party is being split, and in this moment, you decide you're going to follow after the... You didn't actually see, you don't know how long Archibald's been gone. He slipped away without you noticing, but you saw where Falurie went. And you follow. Because otherwise I don't have any idea what I'm doing tonight.
You know, sometimes you gotta just do that, you know?
Sometimes you gotta choo-choo! Railroad. All right. So,
Awesome.
I am just going to log into the game on Roll20, and I'm going to drag you guys to a brand new map. Falurie, you are soaring above the plane of air. Not to be confused with the airplane. The plane of air.
Noted.
And the sunlight casting down, it is a beautiful sunny day. And it reminds others of the mountaintops. Being out on a mountaintop on a beautiful sunny day, wisps of cloud above you, below you, all around you. These little islands, these pockets of mountainous regions stretching out beneath you. Quick question. Falurie, even without thinking, you're flying. Your wings are out, stretched to their full extent, just embracing the sunlight. Your eyes are almost blinded by this, by the stark contrast to the hellscape that you've just left behind. Henrietta, do you have any means by which to fly?
Definitely not.
Henrietta goes plummeting after, almost hitting Falurie as you do a lazy arc to the left, and Henrietta's like ass over tea kettle, just the glinting armor, the plate mail, as she spins over and over, just barely like. Go ahead and do a dexterity saving throw for me there, Henrietta. Meanwhile, Fenris, do you have any means of stopping yourself from falling?
Yes. I mean, just use telekinesis.
Let's assume everybody's had a decent rest by now, by the way.
Sure.
So you are all long rested. Please take note before you do of how many spell slots you had left over for the last fight, that sort of thing. How many hit points? Just take a second and jot that down, because we are going to jump back to that. Yep, dex save, please.
Oh yeah, it's the +4 from the thing, which technically I wouldn't have yet. So that's cool.
We're getting timey-wimey. I don't care.
I mean, if you hadn't called on me right away, I would have been like, cool, new character, let's go. Weird dream, Aarakocra.
This is now part of the canon, and depending on how things go.
We're just set up for a story of, oh, we have to leave. Complaining. That's not fun.
All right, you guys will notice, if you check out Roll20, we have an...
yeah, it's flat.
Oh, right. So,
you know,
you're all blinded from the
normal.
sudden, change of... And so it takes you a little while before your eyes begin to adjust. And what you see around you is beautiful and absolutely terrifying as you go plummeting down. You came through an archway which was literally hovering on it's an archway on a thin band of stone hovering in the mid-air, and you just go tumbling out of it and falling straight down into never-ending cloud, and pocked by these little floating islands of rock and mountain below you, these suspended things. Now go ahead and place yourselves anywhere in the lighted section of the map.
Well, presumably I'm falling, so I don't know exactly.
You're going to be over some air.
What represents, but this is back in the Dreamlands, so Dreamscape. I would love to try to not fall through force of will alone.
Ooh, all right, go for a.
Can I dream myself into flight?
You can certainly try. So go ahead and
try.
You can do a. Let's do a wisdom check.
Just a flat check, no proficiency. Cool. Yep. What? That doesn't make sense.
20?
Oh yeah.
You're wise? You're wise as
It's
F.
it's because of Jack of all trades. It
Oh,
wouldn't have worked otherwise. That's a 19 plus 2 minus 1.
Nice. All right, so you're like, this is a dream. I'm okay. As you pitch, spinning in your plate mail, and you just will yourself to slow down, slow down, slow down. You feel the wind. You open your eyes, and you just miss this one island go flying past you, and you're like, whoa! And it just clips a little bit of your shield, and you go pinioning left. So you're gonna go ahead and place yourself right about here.
Okay.
Falurie,
Am I
if you want to do a dex save, you could do something about this.
Cool.
Sure.
Also, Fenris, what are you gonna do?
How far away is Henrietta from me? I guess 35 feet.
Probably about 60 feet and falling fast.
And how close am I to the ground? Am I on the ground or close enough?
You are hovering in midair unless you or falling, one or the other. Everybody kind of appeared up here.
I see. Okay.
And now we're trying to figure out where everybody ends up. So, do you have means of flight?
Telekinesis.
All right. Your first action, unless you want to fall for a bit, will be to cast telekinesis. It's your call.
I think what I would do is, I would probably fall a little bit as I'm like unprepared, but then I would.
Yeah, it's just buffeted by the wind, and you just.
I'd be like, whoa, and then I would instinctively cast telekinesis as soon as I could, and just stabilize myself.
Absolutely. So go ahead. So you are now stabilized with telekinesis. It is up, and you are able to right yourself and slow your descent. You could stop yourself at any moment, but you're just kind of taking in what you see. Falurie, how'd you do on your 22? Nice. So you see Henrietta go plummeting past, and you're like, oh, right. Do you want to try and catch up with her, or do you want to try and look around, or you want to fly for your house?
I'll go and catch up with her.
All right. So that allows you to just drop into a dive, narrow down, and actually fly downwards at an even faster pace than a regular fall. And you manage to swoop up underneath and get a good grip on her. Now go ahead and do a strength check for me. Athletics if you've got it.
Oh, okay.
Your random
Barely
spinning
now.
has now stopped as Falurie grabs you underneath the arms.
Mm-hmm.
No, she doesn't.
Unfortunately, your wings are just like flapping, and you're just
That's
still
appropriate.
You're not spinning anymore. You're stable but falling. But it's kind of like it's almost like a wingsuit, but you're the wingsuit.
Yeah.
Carl's the wingsuit, and it's not enough. You do not have enough lift. Is that a nat 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why I said I don't grab her.
well, you grab her.
Oh,
It's just you don't
boy.
get to hold her up. So the two of you are now together,
Oh,
and you are falling fast.
Free
Good to have you with me.
falling.
I'm gonna say you're able to move at about half speed directionally, but you must move downwards. So you can choose in this moment to go to one of the following places, and it might be a bit of a rough landing. You can go what is on our map north to what looks like a fairly large island. To the left or the west, you'd be able to maybe catch that outcropping. Or you can hold on and hope you can see more further down. Or there's one island a little bit just to the south of you that's a bit smaller. It's coming up quick. Which direction do you want to aim for, or do you want to aim to miss?
I mean, how far up are we, I guess? It doesn't matter. That's the
You're
question.
probably about, again, about 60 feet from one of these surfaces, or you can go between them. It's your call.
Yeah, that's bad. I can take that damage. All right.
That's good.
Well, that didn't work as I expected. We still have the dream? We gotta get out of here.
Fenris, you can see all this happening now about 100 feet below you.
How you doing, Falurie? You holding in up there?
Fuck you.
Falurie has a wing cramp, is what's happening right now.
It's a dream.
Okay.
It's fine. Let me go.
So I'm
What?
going
Oh,
to. Am I close to the surface? Like, am I within 30 feet? Or
You're a little more
like-
than 30 feet, but if you spend 60 feet, you could probably go for the closest thing, the southern littler island, or you can actually no. I said you're about 100 feet from them, so you're probably
Yeah.
actually about 120 feet from the ground. So you can start making your way down there. Just allow yourself to fall, but in a controlled manner.
Okay. I
Or
see. I'm
you can come
going
up
to
with
be
something
using
else.
up a lot of my spell slots.
You can let them
Um,
go splat. I mean, this could be a real short game.
it
Then
could
we
be
could
a
go
real
back to
short
talking
game.
politics.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick cast. I'm gonna quick cast Dimension Door, and I'm gonna Dimension Door myself to, I guess roughly, I guess wherever they're closest, but like here.
Okay.
So I want to Dimension Door myself where I can be within about 30 feet of them on a
That's fair.
surface though.
Yeah, because Dimension Door is
So if I
pretty
can go
quick.
here and then I'll quick cast that, and with my action, I'm gonna grab hold of them with my telekinesis.
Nice. Sorcerers with their quick cast. All right. That just happens. Just your shadows just envelop you and you just appear on the rock, kind of catching your feet a little bit as you step down. And then you see them starting to plummet. They're almost eye level with you as you do this. I'm going to get you to do a telekinetic ability check to see how well you can grab them.
I'm just quickly checking my alignment. Am I lawful?
13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay, you're trying to catch a moving target with an invisible force. So it's going to be tough. I'm
It's
gonna
also
say,
I just kind of just look at them, right, and
yeah, but it's still a matter of targeting something that's plummeting.
yeah.
So that's you. What I'm going to say is you slow them, but you haven't actually stopped them. That's probably good because if you did really well, they were gonna hit your force and be taking damage. So, so you're like, whoa, 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 and they're just moving. And as you manifest the will, they're moving real fast, and you're like gonna move it down and keep an eye on them. It's hard to track at this speed. So I'm gonna get Falurie to do another athletics check, this time with advantage.
I was gonna say, is it to let him go? I just checked
that
I'm
is
lawful
also an
neutral.
option.
I'm not.
That is also an option if you're like, sorry.
17.
Henrietta did want to. Sorry, Gord. The other player, Darcy, did mention wanting to roll a character. I'm just saying. Oh, I disabled your
It's
video.
dream death. It doesn't count.
Dream death. All right, so how'd you do? 17. All right, so at that
17.
moment, your wing cramp kind of loosens up a little as the weight eases off, as Henrietta's weight doesn't seem to be pulling on you nearly as much, and you manage to just get it under control. I'm gonna say that with the telekinesis's help, and with your momentum, there's really only one ledge you'll be able to land on, and that's straight in front of you on the opposite side. So, Fenris, you just kind of give them a push, like a lift and a push. And Falurie's wings just drag them right over to the edge right there opposite you, and they hit pretty damn hard. Can I get 2 acrobatics checks? One from Henrietta, one from Falurie.
Acrobatics. Aw, alright. Not athletics, huh?
Right now.
14's not too bad.
At 20.
14 fails. Nat 20 with a 23 total succeeds. So Falurie, you do the monk thing where you hit the rock with like your feet and you absorb it and just, roll and you tuck your wing and you shoulder roll and you pop back up again. Feet just, the claws digging into the dirt, leaving these little trails as you slide.
Also because you have slow fall.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. So you're fine.
So is I.
Henrietta.
Yeah, Henrietta doesn't try and roll, right? She probably goes for like just. I mean,
face
you know, she
plant
can probably
and
like
slide.
absorb some energy with her knees, but it's still hard on the knees.
Yeah. Well, with a 14, you're going to be taking the full brunt of this. So unfortunately, you are going to be taking
Like-
some falling damage. Not too much, and my
Like
house
she
roll
would
is
try
that
to
falling
absorb
damage is
that with an
pretty
athletics
harsh.
check, which is gonna not be the same thing. So,
But unfortunately,
looks
this
very
is
different.
acrobatics. Okay, well, that's not could have
Well,
been
yeah,
worse.
that's what I'm saying, right? So she's using athletics to try and do it, and it's not cutting it.
Yeah, exactly. So you athletics your way through, but a lot of it is faceplant and slide.
Yep.
Like you did hit with the knees, but that pinned you forward, and you just go and that helmet is just dragging on and your face is dragging on the rocks. You take 23 points of falling damage. Because remember,
All right, well, my max
falling-
health is still full because I have not
Yeah.
awoken from this dream yet.
Yep. So you
So-
are fine. You're alive. You go dragging
Yeah.
another 10 feet
See what it was, 23?
past.
Just
Just
23.
You drag a bit, and then the momentum, you just flip and roll and flip and bounce, and then come to a stop at this little outcropping, leaning against it. All right. You have successfully made your way, somewhat, to one of the floating islands, or some of the floating islands of the plane of air. What do you want to do now?
All right. Well, that happened. I guess I turn around and are we at the same like? Can I see Fenris?
Yeah, you can see Fenris on the opposite side there, probably about
Is he
40,
higher or
50
lower,
feet.
or like
A
level?
little bit higher up, but not a
All right.
ton. Just about like 10 or 15 feet up, and at this angle, it looks almost even.
Cool. So I'll see him, and then I guess I'll look, and will I notice this landmass that's connected, or?
Yeah, you take a moment to look around and you see it's a relatively uneven mountainous terrain, but it's got stretches of flat plateau. It's almost like you inverted a mountain, and the top part is a little more flat than the lower section. It's kind of iceberg-like that way, except hovering over God only knows what. I mean, you saw a few other islands down over the edge and a few more higher up, but this one seems to be the biggest one around, at least at this altitude. You see these other floating islands not too far away, a little bit higher altitude, just directly south. And then there's the one that Fenris is on. But as you track, you're like, oh, that actually does connect. If you march all the way around, it'd be a bit of a climb, but you would connect. Parts of the island have green growth of mosses and kind of mountainous terrain. No trees that you see, but definitely mosses and grasses. And it's got this beautiful wind, especially after the heat of hell. The wind blowing here is just, it's refreshing and delicious. A little on the cold side, but not too bad. And every once in a while, a zephyr of wind will just be like, almost illogically as it goes blasting past for a bit and then settles down.
So, do I recognize where we're at?
You take a few seconds, you look around, and you're like, yes. You are very near. I'm going to need a name, internet, if we have internet. I don't know if we have viewers right now, but if you've got viewers, I don't think we do. So I'm going to need a name from the players. For an island that is a central ceremonial situation.
It is like named by Aarakocra,
Yes.
so it's in Aarakocra.
Yep. It's Pigeon Island.
Yeah, Pigeon's the only one I can do. If I played in Aarakocra, there'd be a pigeon. It'd be the worst thing ever. Let's not do that.
KFC Island.
I was gonna call it either the Eerie or the Roost.
Let's go with the Roost.
The Roost. All right.
The Roost.
So you
or the
find
Rookery.
yourself. The Rookery? That might be cool.
Yeah.
Rookery.
That sounds familiar.
Rookery Roost. Rookery Roost. It sounds better in Aarakocra. Which basically
Yeah.
is, what was that again,
Exactly.
Darcy?
Yeah, you had to put the accent on the second. Oh.
All right, so you find yourself on the roost, and that is a little. It takes you back. It's a little bit surprising. You haven't been here in some time. This is a special island floating where they would do things like special occasions, special celebrations, and the last time you
If
were
it's a
here,
rookery, they're breeding.
well, not that special. This is then it would have to be the roost.
The roost.
This is where you had your graduation when you managed to pass all your training in your shadow monk training as part of the Aarakocran monk. What's the word I'm looking for?
Initiation.
Not clergy, but you know what I mean.
Oh.
The order?
The order.
Your
Thank you.
monastic order.
Yeah, your monastic order. It is considered a holy island. And the first thing that occurred to you is outsiders are not allowed here.
Yeah. What are you guys doing here? No. All right. Do I see anybody else? Do I see anything happening on the roost?
Do a perception
or is
check
it
for me.
just empty?
Often it's
Right.
not very crowded because it is considered a special place, but there should be someone here, like a keeper. Ooh, 22.
22.
Nice. All right, so you kind of take stock and try to figure out which direction it was, and you're like, oh, wait a second, ascending up that way a little bit, and that's where the main hall would be, and everything else here is kind of down over that way is where they have the rookery, and which is a big Aarakocra orgy and make more Aarakocras, but that's that way. This one, if you head up that way, it's the ceremonial chamber, basically. So if you wanted, you have an idea of where to find that if you wanted to find someone. You also have a vague idea of where, assuming the islands haven't drifted too much, you would be able to find your way back to some of the more populated areas in this area of the air plane, the plane of air. I'm gonna have to always say that, otherwise I'm just gonna think like autopilot and terrible jokes about drinking problems, splashing water on myself.
Snakes on the plane.
On a... Just kidding. Am I muting?
Airplane.
Yes, and stop calling me Shirley.
All right.
All right, sorry. So,
So
yeah, what do you want to do?
I'll get to my feet, brush myself off, I guess. All right. Guess this is your dream.
I guess yes. Yes. So
Maggie, what are we doing here? This is not our destination.
Just the wind howling seems to be in your ears for the moment.
Well, I'm not sure how we're gonna get back to.
so
I don't want
This
to act
being-
like I know how to move through a dreamscape. Ugh.
So this being a dream, do you have realized anything like that's happening that I would have remembered, or like do I remember an instance in time essentially where we're at right now, or is it just oh yeah,
You
here's
recognize the location, but you're gonna need more info before you can place it in a time. I mean, you know when you were here last, but you may have just ended up here. It's hard to tell.
Okay, but like you said, this was the island where, graduation and whatnot. Like I don't see anybody like assembling for graduation.
Doesn't it?
It's
appear-
pretty.
with your perception check of 22, and because you can fly at will, you lift back up again, seeing that Henrietta's more or less okay. You lift up into the air to kind of get over the lip, so you can get a better look at the hall. And when you do so, you do manage to spot a couple of people, a couple of Aarakocra, flying. There's one that's flying away off to the east, and another one has been kind of out in the larger section if you look to the north on the map, you'll see a large section where where you would assemble, and then those who are being initiated gather in the center column, and then the high. I keep wanting to say clerk, but the high officiant would perch on top of this stone dais at the top, and that's where they initiated you into the order. And then everyone else, this is a large antechamber kind of room, like almost like a coliseum, an open air coliseum, and people would fly and hover, or they would stand on the ground and watch and take part in the rituals. You only see one Aarakocra at the moment nearby.
Do I recognize the Aarakocra?
With that perception, you do. It looks like he's the keeper. Like the ceremonial. He's not the head honcho or anything. I'm just gonna use this. It's not Nishida, just so you know. But it's the only winged one I had handy. So you do spot the keeper kind of clearing up and preparing things. You can see the ripples now that you get a better look from a better vantage point. You can see the rippling flags, like a pale, almost sky blue kind of banner type flags that are now being attached at various points around the chamber. So you gather there is a ceremony coming up fairly soon. This might be either a few days or maybe even a few hours prior to your or a graduation.
Okay, so can I go interface with the
Totally.
keeper?
You fly off that way. Henrietta, you're about to call out to Falurie or talk about, dusting yourself off and where are you and all this, and Falurie just books it.
All right. Fenris! Guess we're going around.
Float over.
He just floats like...
That works too.
Yeah, just legs and arms just still and just lifting himself across. You make it...
Gracefully.
Yeah, oh, totally. It's because it's so bright here, you can actually see these little wisps. It almost look like clouds, but it's black tendrils of shadow, just barely visible, and scooping underneath him and just leaving these little trails as he goes across. Floats across, Jesus style.
Are each of these levels like relatively tall, or can I just?
They're about 10, 15 feet. So with a climb check, you can make it, or you could go at half speed without a climb check. If you want to go at any kind of speed, I'll let you know if you get to one that would be really tough.
All right, I'm going to make my way over to catch up with Falurie, but I might not even get there before she comes back. I don't know.
Absolutely. So Falurie, you go and land next to the keeper. And he turns and acknowledges you and speaks a language that you feel like you haven't heard in a long time. He answers in Aarakocra. Well met. You're a little bit early, aren't you?
Well,
the ceremony isn't until this afternoon.
Is that so? So I guess some of the trials are still ongoing.
Yes. Curious. This is the DM asking. Are you wearing your robes of any vestments of your order, or did you pick up armor? What are you wearing?
No, I still have the vestments to the order because
What are you wearing?
No.
Kyle.
Well, jeez.
The vestments of your order, you say. All right. So looks down at you and says, "Oh, you where did you get these?" You do know this this keeper a little bit. It's kind of like they would have led a few courses that you didn't really enjoy. More of the ritualistic side of things. You're more appeary, punchy, hunty, and he was like more philosophical. But you do remember that his name was Jagra.
Jagra, I've earned these. you need not concern yourself. Honestly, like Falurie knows that it's a dream as well, so it's just
Yeah. Go ahead and do a persuasion check for me. Oh, with a 2?
that's not good.
I rolled a 2.
What?
The dice aren't showing properly, but I rolled me a 2. So Jaguar's like, I suppose you're trying them on, but at least for the ceremony, you should change back into the acolyte robes.
Would you have any?
Yes, below. Come. You
No, I think I'll stay here.
You seem troubled. Are you all right?
Just overwhelmed. It's been a while since I've been in this environment here. Let's just say I've seen some freaky shit. And now I'm
Yes.
trying to understand what we're doing.
The trials do weigh heavily on some. I appreciate your sharing this with me. But trust me, most of the difficulty is behind you now. This last bit, and you will be a full member of our order.
So Jack, can you remind me which trials are still ongoing right now?
Well,
And this is Carl asking, but I'm not asking, but saying, because he doesn't remember the friends that he mentions in the backstory. So
right, I don't remember some of the names. So we're gonna need you to either make up names, or internet, you could make up some names. But you and 3 of your friends had entered the training. One of your friends washed out pretty early on, and then 2 other friends made it through pretty far. And you were, if this is the day you think it is, then you had just completed a fairly difficult mission to hunt down a bounty. Now, this particular bounty was on a small, it was the leader of a small gang that you had to hunt down and return to the order, and you had to go to one of the cities of the plane of air to do so. And it was an Aarakocra leader, but he led a group of owlbears and a few other mixed different half elves and so on, who had been kind of running an illegal racket out of the plane of air. And so you and your friends, if you remember correctly, managed to do that, but it got really hairy in a few places, and they knew some things that they probably shouldn't have. Something was weird. Another thing that happened was your rival, somebody that you did go through, and you were frenemies somewhat initially, and now they are. I'm taking a bit of liberty here because I'm only vaguely recall your backstory. I'm sorry, but
no, you're on the right track.
But the frenemy, whose name I don't know, had gone a different path. You went the way of the Shadow Monk, and in the hopes of becoming a bounty hunter, someone who would go on missions and return, ideally with them alive. There is another assassin side of this, recruited by it would be almost like one of the other professors kind of pulls a few people aside out of the other ranks and kind of brings them into their fold. And it's one of these things, it's almost more like a frat than an actual official thing. And so they are not supposed to, but they're not supposed to exist, but they do. And it is the Assassins League within, sort of
So it was
permitted
Salak. Salak was the name, and this was all part of the Great Culling, if you will. That's the final trial where the order, yes, they split down between bounty hunters and assassins, and Salak was was a bully, and faced discipline, but then was managed to still take part in the great culling. But as Fowler recalls, Salak was a little late in regards to completing his trial, and only made an appearance towards the end with some devastating consequences. So Falurie now, in this dreamscape, okay, a few hours beforehand, okay, well, the emotions run high. How can I prevent this from happening, knowing what's going to happen?
Absolutely. It's
And
strange being back. It seems you keep telling yourself logically this is a dream, this is a dream, but it doesn't feel like one. It doesn't taste like one.
sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to pause here just for a second. My daughter's having a coughing fit, so
No problem. Do what
I'll
you
be right
gotta do.
back.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, on a slightly
Yeah.
different rock, not too far away,
Mhm.
Henrietta, you've managed to climb your way up. You're a good climber, and Fenris,
That's true.
you can just hover yourself. So
Yeah.
you guys have now made your way to this kind of the Colosseum style entryway where people would, and you can see all these scratch marks on the ground. You can see all these banners flapping in the wind, and they are flapping wildly. Like massive gusts come by, and all of them just stream outside, sideways from the stone faces. What you're looking at from this side is there's the central kind of horseshoe-shaped dais and area that raises up about a full 2 stories, and you can now see Falurie and another Aarakocra talking up on the top of that dais. Now, down below, there's these pillars that are holding it up. Very few things have actual walls here. Mostly it's pillars and then the occasional roof. And at the backdrop, kind of forming almost a stage-like backdrop, you see these massive roofs perched on several pillars. Now, some of them have a few different shapes. Oh, thanks very much for the follow there, Heather. Great one. Great O, rather. Thanks for joining us. We're doing a side quest for our regular game today. A dreamscape sidestep. All right, so Fenris and Henrietta, you look out and there's this beautiful ancient stonework. A few of them are covered, and you can see a few places where there are doors entering in, kind of just in behind this, kind of framing this central dais construct. And I'd say about every other thing has every 2 or 3 stone slabs that you see they're solid, there's an open archway with just pillars allowing this wind to just constantly blow through.
Do I recognize if there's any doorway, like gateway?
Go ahead and do either perception or arcana check for me.
Okay, well, I'll use perception to see if I can locate it.
Cool. Yeah, I think I pulled myself to a bed at this point and see Falurie discussing, and I'm like, I'll just hold back for a moment.
25.
All right, 25. You're looking around in your thing. Okay, well, you know where you came through, so you turn around and look back up. And there's this, you can see it's moving. Not all these islands drift at the same speed, so there's this island drifting by, and you can just make out this warbling. It's not an archway like you're used to, but you can see this warbling outline that you recall this weird kind of shimmer, almost like an opalescent mist that you'd seen through many of those doorways before you walked through them in the dream hall. And so you can kind of see where that is, but it's drifting away quite quickly that way. You would be very hard pressed to catch it. Looking around, there are lots of arches and there are lots of pillars. Nothing that stands out in terms of your training as a waykeeper. The cult that is the cult of the shadows, about this places in between. The cult that you grew up with, training you to know how to interact with these waygates, allowing passage between planes and even within planes, certain like you could take shortcuts, sort of like the Arc of Antioch that you came through in Avernus, there are those on the material plane and presumably other planes as well. You don't see any around at this moment, but with 25, your uncle, who you're pretty sure wasn't actually your uncle, used to call it, you gotta look out for, you gotta smell the itch. If you smell the itch, it means one may be near. With a 25, nothing immediately comes to your attention. No, you can't smell the itch like your old uncle used to say. And internet, we take name suggestions, so you can name Fenris's one of his many uncles who was actually one of the cult members. If you feel like naming. Otherwise, we'll just call him Old Uncle.
All right, how do we get out of yours when we were stuck in there? Do we have to do something? Maggie?
Again,
All right, I'm back.
for a
guys.
second, for 1 second, Henrietta, when you call out to the night witch,
I'm not really calling
to the
out
night
Maggie
hag.
for her to be there. It's
You're
more
just
of
like Maggie,
more
and
like
there's
a
this
curse.
whisper on the yeah, okay, that's fair. There's a whisper on the wind, but it's torn away and drifting off before you can actually make much sense of it. More just a
Cool.
quiet humming that you remember she would do to herself as she was walking from body to body to body, stretched out on the grass for just a second. You hear it. And then it's gone.
Timeline wise, I think we're at the point where like we finished Fenris's dream but hadn't started mine. Is that about right?
I think that's about right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I dangled the opportunity for each of you to go into a different dream door. And you skipped a bunch and went straight after the main plot hook, which I appreciate. Except tonight, we're filling in a gap.
Yeah, cool. Because the thing that happened after this point where I got knocked unconscious and woke up, and I'm like, I don't have the knowledge that that's a thing that would work.
Well, we'll see.
So,
we'll see if you figure that out.
yeah,
Preemptively.
we'll find out.
All right.
All right, cool.
You're gonna go rejoin Falurie, or you're gonna stand out in the
Yeah,
audience?
Falurie done is Falurie done her conversation. I think
Doesn't
like
look
Ken
like it.
saw the conversation and decided to like hold off on interrupting that and instead
Sure
try
thing.
and see if Fenris had any ideas of getting out of here.
I can't
course
tell
you
if Fenris
see
is
the
there. His
portal
camera's
and
off,
stuff.
but
Yeah,
I'm
you can
here.
oh,
turn his camera back on probably. I don't know.
I had it disabled, but it is enabled now. If you wish, you don't have to.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean like it's there for
Yep, it's all good.
me. Yeah.
All right, so Falurie, Jagra seems a little distracted with his duties from the morning, but otherwise seems contented with your presence here, and kind of nods. And you're kind of getting these quick flashbacks of memory, remembering roughly where your friends were around now, trying to place what might have drawn you here.
If Falurie
Well,
looks like she's done with the conversation, I'll approach, but otherwise I'm waiting. So let me know.
Is there anything else? I have lots of banners. You could help me hang some more if you wish.
That's beneath me. But
Huh.
Nothing
when is
to-
everybody assembling?
Well, it is almost noon, so things should begin to happen here around 4. I believe others will be arriving soon. It is good to see you've finished your morning trials. You look a little worse for wear.
He pats you on your shoulder and turns around to go and put something up. Tying a ceremonial ribbon here. It's mostly just lots of ribbons.
Almost. almost like I've been through hell. I get it. Okay, so I'll end the conversation. I guess, yeah. If we're in this dreamscape, and yeah, Falurie knows it's a dream, but she'll still try and prevent her friend's death if she can.
Fair enough. You get a
So
quick snap of memory. You try not to think about it very often, but unfortunately it comes back to you unbidden at this time. Their cry as they fell, clutching the sides of their head. Blood beginning to pour out of their eyes and begin to vomit blood onto the stone, not too far from where you're standing. You look down about 2 stories below you on the stone platform where you would stand presumably in a few short hours. In your moment of triumph and recognition.
yes. And that just, yeah, it just hits the heart. So, you know, I don't know if Aarakocra can sweat, but if she could, she would.
That's fair.
So right now she's wondering where Salak is at the moment. Like, where did he position himself in regards to placing
you
3
have
arrows
played
in
that-
her best friend?
Yeah, you have played that over and over and over again in your mind, and it all happens so fast. In fact, I mean, it's hard even to believe that Salak was. I mean, he was never a great shot. He was okay, but like the speed, the accuracy, the devastating effects, it all seemed too much. You just this morning, you remembered your friends getting shot by arrows from a half elf perched in near the relatively nearby city of Cairntop, and so you'd seen your friends take wounds before. You yourself was wounded. I speak by English. And you yourself were wounded, probably not too long from this very moment where you find yourself standing here. But those wounds that happened here seem to be more damaging than they should have been. And yet your friends fell, like it was almost like it just tore through them, like they were paper. And you don't know how this renegade managed to pull that off. Can I get you to do let's do a history check for me there, Carl. And there's something about there's something about Jagra kind of humming away, singing a little song as he ties a thing, and all these stuffy classrooms, and all you wanted to do was get out there and start making a name for yourself. And he was droning on and on about the order and about the Cloud Kings, which they've served for centuries, and the gifts from the Cloud Kings. That's your memory of him. How'd you do? Oh my god.
I thought you already saw it with that.
I did not.
Description. Before you rolled, I was going to say, maybe you should have advantage for this, and then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter with a 3 and a 4 for
Charlie
our
Brown.
podcast listeners. We do a podcast as well. Yeah, now it's just the tone of Jagra just humming away, being like, you know why we put the ribbons on, don't you? See, when blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, oh god, I'm back in school. All right, so no dice. Okay, so you do manage
No.
to. You look over and you
Literally.
see your friends. Yeah, you do see your well, friends, your companions in hell who have now come around a corner and are now peeking out at you. You do know that if Jagra sees them, it would be you'd have some explaining to do.
There's no way I can communicate. Maybe just go in front of Javri so he doesn't see them.
Sure, you kind of hover in front with your wings flapping. He's like, turns around. Yes.
I'm just stretching.
Ah, yes. It was always difficult to sit still. We may not have always seen eye to eye, Falurie, but I do wish you well.
Likewise.
Do I
You'd best get
be
going. I've lots to do. Take care.
Jaguar turns, drops the 20 feet just onto the ground, and walks. You recall that one of his favorite sayings was,
Sometimes it's fit to walk, sometimes it's fit to fly, and the wise will know the difference. Good luck to you.
and he goes inside. One of the archways directly behind, it does have a small antechamber and some stairs descending to the hollowed out chambers within the tower. Most of the time you avoid those, but you know, it's one of the reasons you didn't study so good. Okay, so you guys can reconvene and chat a little bit if you want.
Yeah, do you come over to us or do you call us over? It super doesn't matter, but you know,
Well, I'll go to you guys.
the picture. Cool.
So you kind of join them in where the audience would be sitting, and there's a large stone outcropping kind of blocking your sight from just to your southeast there. Kind of best seats in the house are up there. It hasn't currently been decorated. It looks like that's going to happen in a little while, but that is where the representative from the Cloud King would go. That's where all the high up teachers and members of the order would actually observe from up here. So you're kind of in the shadow of that. So,
Cool.
what do you want to do?
Gordon, were you about to ask something?
I was just going to say, so this is the plane of air. I was always wondering what this is like. Interesting. Not that bad.
It's certainly a far cry
Sort of.
better than hell.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
Spacious. Very
Well, I'm starting to
spacious.
wonder if something went wrong, honestly. Feels different than the other dreams.
So what is going on,
Yeah.
Falurie? This is your dream, right?
Yes. So they're preparing for the final initiation following the Great Culling, and something terrible is going to happen. I've been playing
Great color.
the Great Culling. Separate the weak from those trustworthy to carry on with the traditions of the Order. A final exercise putting the initiates, to prove their mettle, essentially. This one was a little different. This one was the first culling where we've had death. Usually, the exercises will happen, the missions are given, and no death within the order actually happens.
Well, the term is symbolic. All right.
Some, of course, those going on assassination missions must kill their marks. But this one here, what happened is that most of us had finished our trials. We were getting ready to, and some of us already started receiving our Dark Feather, the pin, recognizing that we passed our trials. When all of a sudden chaos erupted and arrows not flung anywhere, not to just anybody, but was targeted to my best friend, Cleek. And one arrow in the head, one arrow in the heart, and then my other friend Usaf got maimed in his legs. There's some history as to who did it and why, but we never thought he would stoop this low and actually kill someone in one of the greatest celebrations that the Order has. So I'm seeing this, and I've repeated this scenario in my mind endless times while in hell, trying to figure out where the assailant could be, how far, based on the arrow, the velocity, how it dug in. And I know this is a dream, but in this fucked up way, maybe there's a way that I can affect what's going to happen. And I want to change that.
I can understand that. I mean, coming from my dream, you must know perhaps a bit of how I felt, so I understand.
Now I do. I must admit that while I was in your dream, I probably am feeling the same way as Henrietta is right now. Like, I know this is a dream. Why am I doing this? But it's always different when it's your own dream. But I definitely have a better appreciation.
Maybe.
What's
Something
everybody's
about,
passive perception?
like 13 or something.
18.
16.
All right. Falurie and
Yeah, 13.
Fenris. You just make out there's a bit of a strange sound on the wind. A bit of a screeching sound, but it is definitely cut short. It's almost like a and it sounds like it came from somewhere west and a bit north.
West and north.
What's that noise?
You look and you don't see anything, just the side of the cliff face dropping away on that side. You can go and investigate if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll go and investigate there.
All right.
Over
Falurie
here.
obviously gets there first as the others run along behind. I'm assuming you're hovering in the air, not walking. You look
Not too
Yes.
high up. Yeah.
You get over to the edge and it drops away, and you would remember this from your time here. At this edge right here, drops away, and there's a whole wall of windows and open archways carved into the side of this island. This is a place where they have some classes, some antechambers built into the side, but it's down below this particular surface, descending down. So there are some open archways just off the edge this way if you wanted to take a closer look. It sounded like the sound came from over there. All right. So
All right.
the rest of you are trailing along and following, I'm assuming, or are you going to stay put? I mean, obviously not flying, but...
Yeah, I mean, at first I asked Fenris, like, what'd you hear? And, like, if we start walking over, I'll follow. But I'm just sort of...
Some kind of strange noise that got cut short. I'll start gliding.
Sure.
Not too high off the ground, but I'll start gliding over.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think Henrietta's pretty in her own head. Like, she's processing a lot of what was just said by Falurie. Like, not actually asking a bunch of questions and digging into her history, but going like, oh, this is a lot of stuff about this person
Mm-hmm.
that I'm hearing for the first time.
Yeah.
So we're just thinking about that than
And
actually.
meanwhile, you're also
saying or
scrambling
doing
down
much.
some rocks and stuff, trying to keep
Yeah,
up.
I'm like sticking to the edge as much as I can.
Yeah.
I think I probably end up like here instead and don't bother.
Now there is a
climbing down.
large platform about 10 feet down from where you are, and then
Yeah.
that's where Falurie is. So Falurie,
Yeah.
you go ahead and do a perception check over the edge for me. And Fenris, you can do it too. If you want. Actually,
Okay.
you know what? Yeah. You're gonna be a you could be a little closer. All right. 14.
Man, I'm loosey goosey with like not ones.
Yeah.
today.
Well, that was a 14 though, so you didn't have
Yeah.
disadvantage, so you're okay. And Gordon, how'd you do? Seems to be lagging for me. There it goes.
20.
20, dirty 20. All right, so you
Dirty
go
20.
along and you hear, Falurie, you don't pick this up. You hear this. It's kind of warbled by the wind and this kind of words, but you can't make them out. It does sound like someone speaking. Fenris, as you get closer, you pick it up. Someone below is speaking in Infernal.
Yes.
I think I know that.
Yeah, and Falurie,
I
you
think
don't
I know where
speak
you-
Infernal.
Yeah.
No, but I think I know where you're putting the link. Excellent if it is.
All right, so someone inside a chamber a little bit below and to the right, there's a stone archway leading further in, and you can hear some whispering and muttering. And Falurie, you can make, Fenris, you can make out some of the words. Yes. I don't have the voice changer, so we're just gonna have to pretend. Actually, no, I might, but anyway. So I don't know what this is gonna sound like, but I'll give it a dang try. Hold on, gotta find the right one. All the icons changed.
Yes. Oh, that sounds a lot like Darmina. or Nishida. One sec. Yes.
No.
Change in pitch. There we go. All right. Here we go. It'll be this one. This is a different voice.
Sure.
In Infernal, they say.
Yes. You live up to your end of the deal. And I'll live up to mine. And that's all you got.
Do I recognize the voice at all?
It's a little too windy for you to tell from this
Okay.
distance. It's Infernal. It's a female voice. That's all you get.
Someone's
Assuming that
whispering
means
in
anything to a
Infernal.
devil.
Falurie, someone's whispering Infernal, a woman. And it just kind of point toward like where I'm hearing it.
And it just clicks in Falurie's head. What infernal woman do you know? Who have you been chasing?
Quite a few, actually. But
Quite a few. I killed a few on the way too. So I mean, I don't know which one. And there's like, I recently tossed one through a gate. She's probably dead.
I'm thinking of Sarnia.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm surprised if he says that. I think at this stage I'd be surprised. So I'm like, okay, Sarnia. She's the one I tossed through a gate. She's probably dead.
Well, I'm equally as surprised as you are. Because
Oh, that's what a coincidence. Yeah, we ran into her before getting
I think
here.
at this point you probably knew she was hunting. Falurie was hunting the Arañas, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it
exactly when
happened
stuff
pretty early
happened,
on
but,
that came up.
like when they went back for Bencoom, didn't it come out there?
Yeah.
I mean,
More
if
specific.
it did, maybe it never came.
Yeah.
Maybe Fenris didn't hear it. I don't know.
Maybe Fenris wouldn't. Actually, maybe Fenris wouldn't know at this point.
Yeah.
At least
Like,
not
Darmina
that
must be the
detailed.
other one who learned.
I don't think I knew at this point. I can't remember, but I don't think I knew until a little bit later when we actually started talking about it a bit more.
Okay. So at this point,
But
he
anyways,
says,
whatever.
I think it's probably Sarnia. And you're like, who? Oh, no, you know who Sarnia
No,
is.
I know who Sarnia is. I'm like, oh, what a
Yeah.
coincidence. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, she's the one I
All right,
tossed through a gate.
the voice is now receding in a way, and another voice pipes up and mutters, yes. You'll get what you want, and I get what I want. Falurie, that voice is familiar.
I don't understand what he's saying, but I recognize the voice.
No, this is not infernal. They answered in Aarakocra. That was Salik's voice. The voice you hear.
What did I roll for impulse?
You don't actually have much time here, so you hear the voices receding, and you hear. Actually, you don't even hear. You see, as you're both standing on the edge, you see these large bat-like leathery wings just go out the side, and before you can even really do much, you see this Arrhenius, this devil woman with wings, leathery wings and armor, this battled, scarred battalion of a woman just go sailing out of this perch and off. Before you even really get a chance to do much, she has made it. Again, I'll probably use the same mini because, hey, I only have a certain number of minis with wings. So she... Yeah. I'm trying to resize her on the fly. There we go. So she has flown out from just about where, right here, just maybe 15 or 20 feet away, and travels the 20 feet down and begins to drop as soon as she gets to the edge. Right about then, you realize what you're looking at. She's still only about, what is that, 25, 30 feet away.
Okay. 30 feet away, huh?
What do you want to do?
I know what he wants to do.
You hear the voice of Salik. He was descending and going inwards into the chambers within, and then the Arrhenius has popped out and off this way.
Yeah, I see her. I grab her.
All
It's
right,
kind of almost like an instinctive thing.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, makes sense.
Two things happen. First of all, you're about how high up in the air right now? 10
Not
feet?
that high.
10 feet? 5 feet?
No, not even. I was gliding like maybe a couple feet off the floor.
Okay, so you don't have time to let yourself down gently and
No,
pick her
let's
up.
go.
So you just drop yourself and grab her. So do an ability check for the telekinesis grab, and I need you to do a concentration check as you land. So it's about trying to keep the concentration on the spell. You won't lose the spell if you fail this, but you might lose the chance to grab her effectively by the jar.
Okay.
Bit of a house rule on that.
So
Invisible?
first for the grab of her. Oop. Not good. Gonna spend a luck point.
Okay.
Seems legit.
And it is
20.
contested,
Much
isn't
better.
it?
It's
It
contested.
is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, against strength. Whew. She's got 9 strength. Holy crap.
No, that was a roll with advantage.
Oh.
She is magic resistant, and this is a magic effect, so she has ways of being a little more slippery around such things. All right, so 19, and I'm gonna need her stat block. So we're gonna get that ready because apparently this is kicking off. People go ahead and roll initiative, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna roll a con check.
It's +4 strength.
Oh yeah, she definitely. I passed my concentration.
Good.
And I will roll initiative.
Oh,
And
Gordon, if you can tell me what you got on your concentration check as well.
14.
All right, that does hold.
Go ahead. And 19 initiative.
do I have a sense where Salik would be?
Yeah, you got a pretty good idea that he's probably about 30, 40 feet and moving inwards. Pretty much due south and east from where you are, just based on the sound of where he was speaking just a few seconds ago. And you heard the scratching of his feet on the ground.
Yeah, Falurie is definitely at an impasse. You know, do I go for the hellish demon that's responsible for all this, or do I take immediate vengeance on the guy who's responsible for the physical act of killing her friends?
That seems to be your decision right now. All right, let's jot down some initiative scores. 16 for Hen.
Well, I'm
Gordon, we got
24 for me.
19.
24 for Falurie. 19 for Fenris. Okay. Let me grab my dice. Whew. Weak. All right.
You jostled her a little bit, threw her off.
Yeah, totally. All right. Top of the order. Falurie, what are you going to do? Go
I'm
for the
gonna
betrayer
rush
or
in
go
and get
for the target?
Salak.
Okay. So you
No,
just
I'm gonna
step
go
off the
Salak,
edge,
'cause
drop
like,
the 10 feet, barrel in.
I've seen enough to know that she's responsible for it, and I also know that this is a dream. And then when we return back to our hellish landscape, then it'll just give her more motivation to go for it. But right now, she wants to see if she can get more answers out of Salak as to why he did that and whatnot. So she's gonna go and chase him.
Fair enough. All right. So you're gonna spend the time, basically spend the turn chasing them down.
Yep.
All right. Can I get you to do a dexterity? Let's do a save. Let's do a dex save.
Excellent. Not so excellent.
Oof. All right. Let's see.
With a +7, I end up getting a fucking 9.
All right. So within the you drop down and land, and then just you can see just ahead of you through an archway some light beaming through. It's dim in the particular room you started in, and as you drop into that open archway, you see a body of an Aarakocra dressed in acolyte robes, dead, their throat slit about 5 feet away. That's probably the sound that you heard, the gurgled screech sound, their death cry. And then you look further in, and you can just make out a shadow pass across a light source from within a hall further in, about 25 feet ahead and to the left. So you know which way he went, but you don't see him at this exact moment.
All
It is light in there, so unfortunately, you're going to have to chase the old-fashioned way. You won't get much benefit for your teleport ability.
No problem. Old-fashioned way it is.
So you go scrambling through the room. You make your way out into the hall, and you can see the hallway extends about 10 feet, maybe 15 feet down, and takes a hard right, a 90-degree shape right. Beautiful carved stone, wide hallways. They're about 10 feet wide and about 14 feet tall. Just enough to not feel too claustrophobic in here. And you can see just at the corner at this point, you see the ruddy gray and mottled wing just around the corner of your prey ahead of you. Can I get you to do another? I'm assuming you're gonna do, unless you want to do an action, that's your move.
Oh, you're right. That's the move.
Do you want to spend an action to move again, or do you want to do something else?
I'll spend action move again.
Okay. And you do have some dope monk shit if you want to spend your bonus to do stuff.
Yeah, once I get to see him.
Yeah. All right, so you tear down the hall, almost slamming into the wall in your enthusiasm to get there, and you just get to the edge of the corner, and you'd seen the wing go past as you scrambled into the hall, and then you'd expected him to kind of keep going. Instead, he's right there at the entrance, almost toe to toe with you, like lying in wait, a red dagger, almost like some kind of crystal is all you can get, or maybe it's covered in blood and it's metal. And he's looking at you, and he kind of does this little twitch, and there's this little flash in his eye of a dancing flame just for one heartbeat as he looks at you. And you are face to face with your betrayer. He looks at you and says,
Done early, huh? I'm still working.
Yes. Yeah, I see that. So why? Why do it?
he hisses at you and lunges forward. All right. Do you have a bonus planned up?
Yep. Patient defense. I'm gonna do.
Nice.
Spend a key point for
Are you
dodge.
Getting ready to do that. All right, Fenris. You've already done your grab. We kind of did, or I guess that would be part of a surprise round. So, what do you want to do? You have managed. She rolled a 2, by the way, on her resist. So, you stop her mid-wing, and her wings are trying to flap, and it's like you've got her by the ankles with your telekinesis.
Sorry, did she succeed against a contested war?
She did
or
not.
She did not.
No.
She rolled a 19, didn't she?
No, that was her. That was some. Oh wait, hold on. What was the 19? Oh
Yeah,
right, my
19
bad.
was-
I thought her initiative.
yeah.
She tanked her
Initiative is bad,
initiative,
though.
but she rolled a 19. So that is. Oh yeah, that's plenty. All right, so that's
Should be 23, yeah.
yeah, that's 23. So she beats you on that, unfortunately. So it tugged as and as she went by, and you can see this. It's not bat wings. I'm sorry. It's these kind of black and red feathered wings, and you rake the telekinesis across, and she loses a couple of feathers, but and you can see her kind of keep flying, and she looks back to see who did that to her. All right, what do you want to do, Fenris? She's getting.
So she's still in range?
She's about 35 feet away at this point.
Okay, so she's within 60.
Yeah, she's within 60. And she's a little bit down. Not all even though.
Okay, is she midair?
Yeah.
You know what? I will try it. I will try it again. Let's try this again. See if
sure.
Because the worst comes to worst, she comes back.
Yep. As you're doing this, she's like looking around, trying to see the source of this kind of weird feeling. Of
Actually,
being
you know what?
caught
I'm gonna drop. Can I drop a Hound of Ill Omen on her?
It'll literally have to drop on her. So I'm gonna call that an athletics check on part of Poochie to see if it'll actually stay with her.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll just.
But you could land it on her, and at least this round get it. And whether or not it stays with her will be an athletics kind of grapple type.
Okay, you know what?
Probably with
It's actually
disadvantage
kinda
because it's a dog.
It's kind of funny, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend three bonus action. I'm just gonna be like, yeah. She kind of has magical resist. I'm just gonna be drop it my Hound of Ill Omen, my Wolfie on her.
Yeah, you know this from fighting some devils. All right, go for it.
So that's a bonus action. And with my action, I'm gonna try to grab her again.
The shadows coalesce just above her, and it tries to grab her as he goes by. It is with disadvantage because it doesn't have opposable thumbs, but it does have a mouth.
Okay, so how do I do this? Do I roll for the telekinesis first or for the direwolf?
You want the direwolf first to get the benefit of it, right? So roll the direwolf first.
So what's the direwolf rolling?
Athletics,
Strength?
basically.
Okay, so strength.
Yeah.
Direwolf, tackle.
Oh no, 11.
All right, with disadvantage though, because no opposable thumbs midair.
You bite on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's true.
11.
11. All right. Let's see. Oh man, this dice does not like the Arrhenius. All right, that is 7. I rolled a 3. All right, so the wolf just starts scrambling, like paws scraping her, and then just digs a bite. It doesn't do damage, but it scratches along her black infernal plate mail, just scraping down her leg, and managed to get enough purchase to dangle off of one of her legs. You've definitely got her attention now. Okay, now roll the telekinesis.
Telekinesis contested.
I almost kind of picture you saying something like, "Good boy."
And so no advantage to her this time.
No advantage.
I'm going to spend another luck point.
Isn't it where the rules is written? If the dog falls on her and grapples, her movement becomes 0, so she loses her fly speed and would fall immediately. Technically.
Well, I guess it depends.
I don't think
on...
that's what they're doing, right?
No,
like,
they're trying to just
the
stay with her.
Terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, well.
Rolled a 7 and an 8.
Yeah.
All right, well, she
Oh,
doesn't have advantage, so let's see what happens. Oof.
Nah, she easily passes.
That is a 21 on her part. So she just shrugs the it's almost like, actually, she pulls at her hip, and you see this long glowing blue lasso rope, and called a rope of entanglement. She just bats away the telekinesis with it, and then just looks back at you and locks eyes with Fenris just standing on the perch up there, and she just hisses at you, and in your head you hear her speak. Hold on, 1 sec. Gotta get the voice.
Oh, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, I'm going to back up. Back up.
Yeah, you do still have some movement, so yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
You go scrambling back to the base of a cliff, just behind Henrietta.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Next up is Henrietta.
Yeah. So I think during like rewinding a bit, and everyone sort of goes to the edge and looks out. Henrietta only made it this far and was like, I'm just gonna sit down here and not gonna climb down for no reason. So she's like sat down on this edge and it started doing the like, okay, I need to clear my mind and get a hold of this dream and see if I can pilot it into something where I want it to go. And then this happens, which I think, she looks up and sees Falurie. Does Falurie like fly off? Like Falurie's
Just
down the
stepped
edge,
off
right?
and fell down, and
Yeah,
almost
so
like
like-
leapt down as though he was hunting something.
So I
Just
think we
look in
see
his- in
Henrietta
her
like
eye, I should-
getting to her feet, or not even getting to her feet necessarily, like pushing herself down this ledge that's like 10 feet high.
Yeah, you drop down, no
scramble
no
down that. Yeah, just look over, look back at Fenris, like, all right, what are we doing here? And yeah, I'll like step out to like get eyes on Sarnia, but I don't think I'm doing anything yet. I think I'm basically just gonna like stand here. So let's do like a dodge, and I'm like ready to, I don't know.
All right. So you just see and you ready your shield, and you see that Erinya's eyeballing both of you, and she looks down at the
Where'd
at the
Falurie
hound
go?
on her leg.
Yeah.
And that's what she does. All right, she kind of taking the lay of land.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do a perception check for me. If you've got an action,
Sure.
you might as well use it to
I
proceed.
could do that. I mean, I'll use to dodge, but I can also proceed if you'd like.
So, with a 13, the wind is howling. You see the Erenyas looking back at you, and you take stock and you figure out where Falurie went, but that's about the extent of what you can pick up. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Coming up next. That would be, what's his name again? Salik?
Valid.
All right. Salik lunges at you and makes 2 stabs with this weird looking dagger.
Okay, so I had used.
Oh, you did use patient defense, so it's at disadvantage.
Yep.
So that nat 20
Well done.
does not take effect. You lucky birdie. Oh,
I mean,
but a
it's
19.
still very good.
Oh, you know what? How am I going to do this? Okay, so the first roll, I'm actually going to say the nat 20 becomes the 3 because I rolled them as a pair. The 19
Oh,
would
yeah,
be
I
the
see that
without
now.
disadvantage. The with disadvantage, it would be a 12 plus 7. Does a 19
Oof.
hit your AC?
Yes, it does.
All right. So 19. I'm gonna roll some dice here, and you are alone with an assassin.
Okay. Is it
Oh, terrible roll on my part. Those are so many ones. All right. Oh, those aren't ones. Those are 6s. All right, so we got 17 points of damage as the dagger just sinks into your sides a little bit on the left, just kind of left of the center as you arc your torso to get out of the worst of the cut. And
So is he not a monk?
is there a funky monk thing you can do? Funky monkey?
No, I mean Salak.
Salak is an assassin / monk.
Okay.
A little bit of both, and the dagger is magical with some properties to it. All right, so that's what you got, and all right, that is Salak's turn. It's going to spend a bonus action to disengage and go and turn, like just kind of slink back, seeing that you're still standing. You could always take a hit. Turns and runs down the hall, top speed, and dekes right into this. Actually, dekes left. I'm sorry, from this particular vantage point, dekes left into a kind of a darkened room, an archway. The hall does continue past, and there's about another 2 doors, about 30 feet past this first one. But Salak takes the first left. It's only about 10 feet away from you now. All right. Alrighty, so that brings us down to Sarnia. Sarnia looks back at Henrietta and frowns, not really recognizing Henrietta, but seeing someone, a human in plate, standing in a place unexpected, and just kind of gives a little
She might
hiss.
recognize my shield.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna go with what's the range on that? Let's say 30 feet. That's too close. All right. So Sarnia is going to fly a little closer. Actually, your dog is impeding her movement. It's not a stop, because I know normally it's a grapple, but flying versus this, I'm gonna say it's half movement.
Cool. That sounds reasonable.
As she flies here, kind of dragging Puppy with her, trying to kick it off. And she's going to do 2 attacks. One of them on the dog as an attempt to break the grapple. So go ahead and roll the dog's strength again, please. Oh, sorry,
Sure.
3
So does
attacks.
She have a weapon? She just has the rope?
She's got the rope in one hand and she's trying to kick the dog off with the other.
Cool. Yeah.
Um,
So as far as weapons, she might have other stuff, but she only has like the rope in hand.
you-
You have to.
You see that
Dog
she...
roll a 20.
You don't see a blade on her, but you see a small sheath that would be either a long dagger or a short sword type sheath.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's empty at her side.
Does she have
appear-
a bow? Is what I'm really wondering.
She doesn't appear to have a bow on her either.
Cool.
The dog has rolled a 20 to grapple her.
Whoa! All right. So that beats her 13. So the dog's just hanging on, like it slips a little bit further down and is just on the leg at this, on like the almost the ankle at this point, and she's just kicking, trying to get this thing off. And it's just howling, and like mist and shadow is just dropping off it like drool. All right.
There's like chance a glance back at Fenris, like, do you know her? what is?
you
What's
you
going
look,
on here?
Henrietta, you look back just in time to see attempt to lash you with her rope.
Sure.
Oh, that's a terrible roll. I'm rolling like garbage. Does a 9 hit your AC?
No.
Oh, sorry, a 10. All right. And she's just like, all right. So she is going to, turn the lasso, and it reacts. It's got this little hook on the end, a little weight, but it almost moves like a tail. It has a sort of extra enchantment to it. It's not just a regular rope. It's got a string, almost like one of the chain devils, but not quite as animated as that. It just responds to her a little bit more. Her last attack she's going to spend on the Hound of Ill Omen.
Oh no.
Oh man, I
normal
just
attack or
rolled a
like
3, a
knockoff?
2, and a 4. So does 7 hit its AC?
No.
Wow, she is. Oh man, she's rolling poop. I'm rolling poop. She's doing more, and she's
so
getting.
flustered. He didn't expect it to be here, and then a dog fell on her.
Yeah, it's a weird day. All right, so
Resisting the hole. It's like she knows when it's
This is
coming.
the way I remembered it happening.
Yep. All right, she looks up at you and just hisses at you and says something. But anyway, meanwhile, back of the order, top of the order, Falurie.
All right. Well, I chase after him,
All right,
and I go left.
you go left in through the darkened doorway. The room is. It's a relatively small room. It's about 20 feet across. There's a small door on the far right, kind of kitty corner to this one, that appears to be closed, a wooden door. You see some chests and some hanging wardrobes. This seems to be where, like a dressing area for robes for some of the accolades. And also there's books piled in the corner. It looks like kind of storage / dressing area. And it is dark in here. I need you to... You can do a perception check, but there's no... You don't see your prey in here yet. You can spend an action to do a perception check, or you can keep going through the other door, or you can start looking around and investigating the room with the hanging robes and so on.
Okay, I'll use my cloak of shadows and go invisible.
Nice. All right, so you and do you move
So
beyond
that's my
that?
action.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'll stealthily or quietly move. I guess towards that door, just being careful not to make any noise.
All right. So go ahead and do a stealth check for me with advantage. It's monk on monk here today at SideQuest Live.
Nice.
19.
19. Nice. Your stealth check is pretty... You're pretty sure that you're very, very quiet. Your passive perception is 16.
So yeah,
You're just...
18.
You're having... 18?
Yep.
He's good. But you're better.
Fuck yeah, I am.
You look back and you're just like, all right, where would I? The robes. One of them on the far left was about 4 inches, a little too far away from the other ones. You look back and you can just make out a shadowy shape hiding amongst the robes. Like just. You beat it by 1 with your passive.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just keep I have an idea what I want to do after, but I'm just gonna keep an eye on him.
Fair enough. All right, Fenris. What do you want to do? The Arrhenius is sitting there struggling with the dog.
Okay. I am going to try to telekinetically grip her one last time.
Sure, go for it. Make your roll.
$20.
And this is a straight roll for her.
Yep.
Ooh. With a 9 after adjustments. You're just like, you grab her, her wings kind of fall, and you see a couple of feathers burst out the sides, and dog's still hanging off her ankle. You've got her. What do you want to do now? That was your action, I believe? So
That
she is
was my
grappled
Yes.
and restrained, or just grappled?
She is restrained, my friend.
All right, so she's restrained, and the only thing keeping her aloft is your telekinetic grip. All right.
And I yell over at Henrietta, like, take her down. And I'm going to that would be using a lot of, yeah, you know what, I won't spend the slots for that.
Okay.
I'll yell at Henrietta to take her down.
For sure.
Restrained.
Henrietta is next. You look out of the edge of this drop. It's about a 25-foot drop, about a 20-foot drop down to the next layer. But she is hovering and restrained over actual surface.
You know what? Can I slam her down? Can I grab her? Like, because I can actually move her 30 feet. I forgot
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, you can do that.
So I grab her restrainer and I just kind of slam her into like
into the side or into the ground below, or you can move her closer to Henrietta if you want.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to slam. So how high in the air is she again?
She's about 25 feet in the air right now, above the kind of where Falurie had dropped down to go into the temple.
I'm going to slam her into the ground.
Just straight down.
Actually, no, because then I'll lose line of sight. So I'm just actually going to slam her into the side, like side of the cliff here, like boom.
Okay.
So within reach of like
Yeah.
basically where I put.
So you just like
Count of
pull
Elements
her
with-
and then into the wall that outcropping that's kind of marks the
Yeah,
the next
because I would
layer
lose line
up.
of sight otherwise. And yeah, exactly. Just
Absolutely.
boom. So yeah, exactly.
So you slam her into
know.
there. I'm gonna get you to do a separate, not contested, but I'm gonna just see how well you throw her at the wall. Just to, almost like an attack roll, but with the
24.
telekinesis. 24, nice. All right, so that was about 20 feet of movement, so I'll count that as 20 feet of falling damage, which in my homebrew is 4d6. Yeah, falling hurts. Oh, now I roll good. Actually, maybe I should let you roll.
She takes 10 damage.
All right. If you want, all right. So she takes 10 damage. All right.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra damage.
Absolutely, like bashes her into it, and you hear of the hound as it also bashes and takes 10 damage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna roll. I need to roll initiative for the hound. Sorry.
Yep, that's fine. Do it up.
Just-
Next up, while you're doing that,
Easily.
Henrietta, it is your turn, and now on
And then
your
now.
level is this somewhat twisted up Arenas kind of struggling. So it looks like a woman with these in black plated armor with these veins of hellfire red glowing seams in the armor. You can tell that she's magical, and you can see that the horns on her head are not just part of her helm. They're actually fused into her head. In some ways, her helm is somewhat reminiscent of your own at the moment. But she's got these wings. They're somewhat armored on the top, and they've got these red feathers that are at the moment kind of bunched up in weird ways as though a giant hand is grabbing her. And she's struggling against this and has this hound, and she's just spitting curses in Infernal, which I don't know that you speak. Do you? You do,
I
right?
don't.
Oh, okay. So she's just spitting
I speak
curses.
Celestial. It's never come up. You'd think it would.
It's cool.
Yeah, I like Western Twice. I just think it's funny. Anyway, yeah. So at that, I think I see Henrietta doing one of those sort of like turning like backward walks, so I can like keep talking to Fenris while I walk over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you and I both know that this is pointless. Like, who even is this? Are you just attacking the first person you see? And I like walk over to her and I like pull out my manacles and just stick her in manacles while she's restrained.
All right.
Just
So
click, click.
Yeah.
Like,
So you
all
press
right.
the alarm.
Sorry
And-
about this.
it's one of those almost a force of will as you reach up, and she's just trying to pull her hand away, but it's being resisted by the telekinesis, and you're just
Yeah.
like so you manage to get both arms in these manacles. Are they magical or
Yeah, I'm
just
like-
regular?
They're just manacles. You know?
Okay.
They're dream manacles.
Dream manic. It's Dream manacles.
That's right.
All right, so you have managed to double restrain the Arrhenius.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm like holding on to the manacles. So.
Yeah, in the centerpiece. All right, cool. I think.
If I need to like roll something.
Oh,
to,
the
like,
irony. Those would
in
have been
control of
manacles
that.
that Fenris would have been wearing.
I think these ones aren't. I think I like
Aw.
got new manacles when we like parted ways and met up again later.
No, that's true. They did strip you of all your armor and stuff. So
Yeah, I lost
initially.
everything after that.
yeah, you went to
I
prison
actually
for a
took
while.
manacles, but just
Oh,
Yeah,
just-
I was pretty sure the manacles you actually still had. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we've got a doubly restrained Arrhenius. All right, next up. And we are approaching stop time at 12 if you want. I can keep going a little bit, but not too much. All right, coming up next, that would be inside. So, Falurie, you can hear a quiet muttering and a quiet breathing from between these two robes as this shadowy figure is preparing something, like they're waiting for you to come closer or react in some kind of way.
Also, you're
let's-
invisible.
Also, you're invisible. They don't seem to see you. You can almost hear them being like, come on, show yourself. They're delaying until they see you.
Seems wise.
So,
Do I notice which way he's facing or anticipating?
he's basically looking out towards where you are, but a little bit to your left, so you can tell that he hasn't actually seen you as you were approaching the door. And you can just see only his eyes are moving. Everything else is super silent, that red dagger held in a downward grip. As he's waiting, he's looking back and forth between the door you entered through and the door that you were looking at. And back at the one you're looking over there, and he's just lying in wait, crouched and ready to pounce.
Alright, good on him.
I don't have time for this. You can hear him mutter.
Okay.
And then he's gonna bolt. So he goes rushing out towards the wooden door, begins to
You
rush
trip him.
past you, and you do have an attack of opportunity as he goes past.
Trip him, got the face plant.
Oh, that'd be glorious. Do you have
So-
sentinel?
That does sound good. Okay, so that'd be opportunity attack. So, what am I limited to in using for
You can
an
use
opportunity attack?
you can use an attack of any kind. You can spend key points if you want to. That's fine. You're not able to move from this spot to follow if he gets past you, but he's about to leave your range as he's running by. You could do an attack, or you can do some
Okay,
other
so the
effect.
javelin of lightning.
You don't have that yet. Sorry, buddy.
Hmm.
Good toy.
Well, then tripping it is.
All right. Well, count that as an
Damn it.
athletics check contested.
Okay.
Go
I
ahead
picture
and-
this is like you reach it with like a taloned foot and like grab his ankle and he just goes, but it's like a grapple check technically.
Yeah, you have advantage on this because you are invisible and he's not expecting it.
Okay.
Man, this dice does not like me. Woof. All right,
15.
15 versus his... Wait, hold on. Oh, 12 on his acrobatics to avoid this. So he almost gets it. Like, he definitely... His one leg snags and he stumbles and he falls to a knee and almost turns it into a graceful kind of roll, but instead kind of bashes and stops right next to you. It doesn't do any damage, but he is stopped in front of you. All right. Next up is Sarnia. Or the wolf, sorry. Woofy.
Wolf rolled 11 for initiative.
Yeah. Woof.
Okay. Wolf is going to. Well, I mean, he's gonna.
Bite her throat out. It's his only action.
Yeah,
to
he's gonna
allow.
bite. He's gonna bite her, but he
All
gets
right.
a roll with advantage.
All right. Yeah, he's not suspended in the air anymore, so he's got a little bit of footing under him. Go
Yeah.
Woof.
Go Wolf. Roll. First one, 14.
14 is a miss.
20.
20 is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. He does. Reach 5, 1 hit 2, piercing damage.
Are they considered magical attack?
Nope.
All right.
6 damage.
So it'll be halved.
He just kind of nicks her.
Yeah, just chomp, just kind of reinforcing the grip on the ankle, and just
Yes,
tugging ever so
but-
slightly.
But she now must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Just dragging her down to the ground. Yeah.
That's the way it's
Ooh, there's the rule I've been waiting for. Nat 20. So that's 24.
Okay.
So she's just like,
totally
and just
doesn't.
shoves the dog back. Doesn't do anything. All right. Okay. Next up, Sarnia's turn. She's restrained, so anything she does is at disadvantage, if I remember correctly. She looks up at you, and she says,
I don't know what your game is.
"Just so you know, it is in Infernal."
Okay. That changes.
Whatever. Common. Everybody knows common.
That could be infernal. That's fine.
I don't know what your game is, or what you're even doing here. But you will not send me through any more portals, boy.
How does she knows this? Isn't this in the past?
Do an Arcana check for me.
Nineteen.
19.
Yay.
That's pretty good.
Rolling of it. Yeah.
You do know from your training, like as a planeswalker kind of waygate wrangler, the planes don't always align, and that doesn't just happen in place. You flash back to a lesson with your mother as she's busy with a mortar and pestle, sitting around in a small cottage. She's saying, "Planes don't always align, like sheets of paper, with lines images drawn on them. Sometimes the lines don't align, and it's not just the physical. They don't always line up in time either. Sending someone through here might have effects there that aren't expected. Thing is, until they circle back, you can't make a change unless you're very, very careful. If things get out of whack, it can cause ripples down through the mists that connect the gates." So you get the
Okay.
idea that sending her through that waygate, the wild waygate, might have thrown her to this place non-linearly.
I mean, I kind of picked that up, but I, in response to her, I say, "It was just a reaction. I just can't help holding on to you."
She actually smiles at that and says, I gotta find my voice. There it is.
Well then let's make the feeling mutual, shall we?
And she's going to try to lash out at you with the rope of entanglement with disadvantage.
Holy crap.
Okay, 6, which brings it to a 14 to hit your AC. Does 14 hit your AC?
No.
Okay. So the first snap of this as it whips past you, it's almost like the anchor point goes flying at your head and you duck to the side and it goes past you.
Yeah, and I'm like trying to like control her wrists. I'm like, nah, stop that.
Yeah,
Like,
and
hold
but
the
she
wrist back,
this
yeah.
rope almost moves at her will as she gives a little flick of her wrist where she's holding it, and the whole thing just
Yeah.
goes to its extent and then begins to arc back, like rebound like a bungee cord backwards. So on the back shot, this is her second attack with disadvantage. That's an 18 and a 19 on the dice. So does
Oh man.
I'm gonna interrupt
26
before you say anything. Before you say anything, I'm gonna interrupt. Okay, that's probably not worth doing now, but I will do it because
Sure.
I think that I'll honor it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on here. Just cut it out. I'm gonna figure this out, and I want to do a cutting words.
All right,
So
make
it's a
your
D8.
roll.
Ooh.
So that's a 26.
It's a 3.
So it's now a 23.
Oh.
That was a nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I love the bards for that.
So actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll spend my last luck point and make her re-roll her second attack.
All right, but okay. Yep, that's fair. And now I guess I just re-roll
Once.
Not
with a disadvantage, yeah.
just straight. Okay, let's see.
Straight
And there's a
roll.
-3 from this.
And a -3.
I think that's fair.
You
Yeah, I'm not
lucky
sure what the
little.
technical rules are.
Ah. All right.
I'm out of luck points now.
Yeah. All right. So
What'd you
that
roll?
is now I rolled a 3. So
Oh,
that
crap.
just makes it a straight 8
Okay.
after the deductions. So
It was like coming right at me.
you see the
kinda
rope
were-
kind of
wait a
extend
minute.
past you and start to arc down, and then you hear this and this it's almost like this voice actually it almost is a voice in the back of your head says, "Get down." This female voice in the back of your mind just says get down, and you duck, and this anchor point just it's almost like it's retreating with the rope hanging behind it, zooming back towards Sarnia, and she okay, she gets 3 attacks though. So this time she's gonna go after Henrietta with disadvantage.
Okay, that was my reaction, so I can't do that again.
Okay, let's do some math on that. Hold on, this could be interesting. Does
And she
a
just like it's the same like rope
it's the
entanglement
same like
just
she
melee
sent
now.
it past,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
retreated, and instead of hitting Fenris,
Yeah,
she's hoping
awesome.
to get you with it.
Love it. That's great.
So it is 20 with does 20 hit your AC?
No,
Oh damn! Plate.
Wow.
probably like I basically like catch it on the shield. Like I have like one hand holding the
Yeah.
manacles, and then I have the shield, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
wear a weapon. For
You
that.
don't-
That's why I don't carry a weapon.
Yeah,
right?
you've got a mace at your
Shield and
hip,
hand.
but that's it. All right, so as this thing comes arcing back, you just get the shield up just in the last second, and ting, it tings off that, and doesn't get you. All right, wow, you guys are lucky. Damn. Okay, next up,
Mhm.
we're
Yeah, I
gonna
think
go.
I'm like looking up at the sky. I'm just like, Maggie, what are you doing?
I love that the name
right.
of the hag
We
is
got
now
2
a
minutes.
curse word. I see that.
Yeah.
All right, Falurie, down below.
I'm just gonna
Selleck is on his knee. What do you want
go
to do?
ahead.
Your turn.
I am just gonna unload on him.
Go for it. This is gonna be
So-
cathartic.
Talon strike.
Oof.
All right.
25 to hit.
hits. Yep, that hits.
All right, so I'll do a stunning strike with that. So,
Okay.
Very good.
but I'll roll for damage first.
Yep.
Not a good thing for a stunning strike then.
All right. Does 18 beat your stunning strike DC?
Hold on, I gotta find it.
I would guess
Bonus?
16 or 17, but I don't know.
Bloody hell, where'd it?
Oh, it feels good to just lay into this little bastard, the one who shot your friends with this weird bow.
I
and,
can't-
like, just tearing into it.
Can't seem to.
it should be your wisdom plus 4 plus 8, right?
Yeah.
So you can just calculate.
Wisdom
Plus
plus 4 plus 8.
Well, assuming what your wisdom mod is, yeah.
12 plus wisdom.
DC. Sorry, it's DC 15.
DC 15. Okay, so makes the save, doesn't take the stun.
All right.
Okay. But takes the hit. So roll your damage. Oh, 4.
Yeah, that was 4.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do my
Flurry
second
blows down.
attack.
Yep, go for it.
Second attack is a 12.
That
Yeah.
misses.
Alright, so I spend
Yep, go for it.
a key point and do a flurry of blows.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
So,
Oh, I see that now, Grimdor. I'm gonna make that part of it. Don't you worry. Flurry of blows.
14.
14 misses as well.
Okay, so then the next
26 hits,
Yeah.
obviously.
now can I spend another key point to try stunning strike again?
Yes, you
or-
can.
Can, yes.
Alright, so I'll do that.
Monks.
Yeah.
Monk, Maggie.
Alright, and I'll roll for the damage. Of course.
Alright.
6.
6 damage. Nice, nice. And DC
Yeah.
15 or what DC 15?
Yep.
Okay.
DC 15.
That is 17. Sorry, man.
Well, you know.
The
Felt
flames
good to
flickering in the
get
eyes
2 hits.
seem to be giving this little puke a slight edge here. And it just hisses up at you and says, "You're not gonna get away in the way of my plans. You've given too much for this." Alright. Next up. If it's okay with you, Fenris, we're gonna resolve what's going on down below.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So at this point, Salak tries to sweep the leg. He's down low anyway. So let's go with that's a 17. Does 17 hit your AC, Valerie?
Nope.
Nice. You just lift your leap up. It's funny, you don't lift up, you don't jump up, you just lift your legs and your wings give a flap and it keeps you up. As the sweep misses, and then he immediately jumps up at you, dagger first, in like an uppercut motion, oh, dude, nat 20.
Ouch.
Alright, well, you know. Sure happens, so go ahead.
As this ruby red dagger sinks into the earth, like gut shot.
He's not in a position to sneak attack, so that's good.
It's actually the kind of build where if you're fighting, it's sort of like Archie. You're fighting one.
They said he was an assassin.
I say thing. That's what I meant.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an assassin, not
12.
an assassin.
19, 22. That's 44 plus 5 brings it to 49 damage. You still up?
I've had worse from demons. Yes, I am still up.
Okay. That was a heavy hit. Now, we are into overtime. We could... I sense a stop point in just a few minutes. If you guys want to keep pressing for another 10, let's say. If
Sure.
you want to stop now, we can.
Yeah, let's
I'm in no
finish
hurry.
this.
All right. So, at this point, outside, Fenris, you're staring at this Arrhenius. She's twisting and writhing against the chains and manacles, trying to get away. Your dog's chewing on her leg. What do you want to do?
So I get the sense that between Henriette and the dog, that I don't need to necessarily worry about the telekinetic grip just yet.
You could probably
She's
drop it.
still able. Yeah. So, but I'm kind of pissed at like just what Anyways, just with what she did. But you know what? Like I get the sense the impending need to kind of end this quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to drop telekinesis and I say, my turn, and I just do a swirling curtain of shadows just starts to wrap around her, and I try to enwrap her in a mental prison.
Right, your favorite move against devils. You begin to wrap her mind, not her body, but her mind, in these swirling shadows, and just pull her into a vortex.
So
only
let's
she
see
can
how she rolls against it. I mean, she still probably has a fair. It's a straight roll intelligence save, and even if she passes, she'll take at least some damage. But let's see.
How does 12 do?
Well, the DC 17.
Yeah, so you got her.
Okay.
Nice.
And she's just like, no.
So
I've set things to foot. You will not stop all my plans.
I have a knack for doing that, and I just
and then it just
hears that.
You can't.
It's
she
just
can't
drowned
see you
out by the howls, and it's the signature move. She's just surrounded by a cacophony of noise of howling wolves and hundreds of golden eyes staring at her and ripping at her, and she will take psychic damage initially of 5d10.
Go for it. Henrietta, what do you want to do? As this Avernus is reacting, you don't see any of the shadows.
Yeah, I don't see anything, right?
You just see her
like I'm holding
responding.
onto the manacles, and I got my shield up, and I'm like, hey, calm down. Come here. And I like try and pull her down to sit on this ledge or like lean next to the ledge here. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull her out of the prison.
You're
and
gonna
like
force moving her.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Of course I am.
You're like, come here.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Come
4
away
of the
from the
dice.
edge.
Yeah, it's like, hey, whoa, calm down. We'll
Nice.
figure this out.
Force movement is fun with this, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yeah.
Right, Gordon?
Yeah.
So go ahead and...
It doesn't matter if it's forced or not, as long as she is moved out. Yeah, I'm gonna empower the spell, so I'm just gonna re-roll 4 of the dice.
Oh, you don't like rolling 3 2s and a 1 on 5d10?
No. I prefer the 2 2s and 2 6s and a 5. So she initially takes 21 psychic damage.
Okay.
Hopefully she's not resistant.
And
And sorry,
No. Still, he
Okay.
takes it.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
she just
and so if the target is moved out of the illusion, makes a melee attack through it, or reaches any part of its body through it, she takes 10d10 psychic damage.
Oof, go ahead and make her roll. And she's just like...
Oh, and the spell ends? I didn't know that, actually.
She took 21, and now she's about to take 10d10.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
And I might empower it as well. Let's see.
You've got this mental prison where you think you can't move, and then when you are forced to move, your mind breaks, because it's like, that's not possible.
Yeah. So I am gonna re-roll. I'm just gonna empower it. I'm gonna re-roll the
Just the 2?
no,
Maybe the
like there's
4?
a 2 and a 4 and a 5 and a 5. I'll re-roll the 5, the 2, the 4, and the 5.
Sure.
Alright.
As she's moved, you see her flailing around, no longer trying to hide away from these terrible shadows as you're literally pulling her into her worst nightmare. And she flails around, pulling on the rope, her wings kind of flapping around, no longer restrained that way by the telekinesis. So she's definitely putting up a struggle. And in the process,
Cool. I mean, I could make an athletics check if you think I should.
But she's restrained already, so you're just kind of force moving her. That's okay.
Okay.
She's not trying to resist.
Takes 70. She takes 70 on
she
top,
got it.
so she takes 91 damage
91 total. Okay.
total. Yeah, so 21 plus 70.
Whoa, that's a lot of damage in a round. Wow. Okay, so she goes through this and just screams, just as she goes through the. I know that was whisper, but I don't want to make my kids. So she goes pull
No,
through
fair
this
enough, yeah.
shadow wall and is just
They
like
just ravage.
they just actually what happens is the shadows whirl around her and just tear at her, and then they find her mouth where she's screaming, and they just into her mouth like almost like a reverse like fire breather, just and all of them pile into her, and she's just like buckling. You're the only one who can see this, of course, Fenris. I'm saying for flair. All right, as she's like gagging and retching as Henrietta pulls her a bit away from the edge. All right, coming up next.
Cool. Can I cast a spell?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to do? It's
She
Henrietta's
seems like
turn.
she's still in pretty intense distraught there. This
Yeah.
is technically shouldn't work, so it's up to you as a GM.
I'll
I'm
see
gonna
what
try and
happens.
cast Calm Emotions on her.
Sure.
It
sure.
technically can only target humanoids, but I'm gonna try
She's
it.
a humanoid. She's a
Is she?
fiend, but she is
She's
humanoid.
not. She's a fiend. Yeah, but she's not a humanoid.
Oh,
anyway.
okay. So
Um,
she crumples to one knee, and you bend down and just try to console her and touch her on her arm. And
oh my
Be
God.
calm.
What is going on?
Yeah. Okay, what's the save?
Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da.
And what do you say to her?
Oh, yeah, it's a charisma saving throw. I mean, I say what I said before, right? Like, whoa, calm down. Let's come sit down over here. And I pull her through, and then she like screams even more. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I like actually cast the spell in that second time, right?
Like, hit her. I'm yelling at
Yeah.
like, hit her. What are you
And-
doing?
And I look back at Bender's. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's defenseless here.
And you can see her wings
Have a
draped.
conversation for once.
She's kneeling down and she's huffing, like trying to catch her breath. And as your
what
spell
is my-
goes, she kind of cools and calms, and she just goes still.
Yeah, so it's a charisma save.
Yep,
I have what?
And so,
16?
yeah, what's the DC?
16.
Okay, so she. And she looks up at Henrietta.
She probably has advantage and stuff if you want to do that.
Yeah. Well, the wolf was still on her, so it was straight shot.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I think that
affect
only
her.
applies to Fenris and stuff.
Only
Oh,
applies to
that's
mine.
right. Yeah. So that's
Also,
fine.
I think that they have advantage anyway because they're like an enemy combatant,
It's
right?
true.
So
all of it cancels out too. It has advantage. Okay then. So she looks up at you and she gives this little smile. Oh, I'm calm. Grimdor,
Yeah, here it comes.
700 plot points spent. Thank you for making stuff up. She didn't miss. She just roped around all of you. So I need you all to do a strength. Let's
Suddenly
go.
cinches.
Yeah, it went out and around and back, and now it just goes and cinches together. So I'm gonna go Henrietta, and let's go with a dexterity saving throw for Henrietta and Fenris and the wolf.
Okay, I am going to.
So I don't know if you're honoring the aura, because I technically wouldn't have it at this point in the story.
Yeah,
But,
you
like,
wouldn't have it
also, I
right
think
now.
our proficiencies would be lower and blah 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 blah.
No, you only went up one level since then, I think. So that's not too much
Yeah,
different.
but it's a proficiency level.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. It's
I
still.
think it is, isn't it? I could
You
be
don't
wrong.
get the
I could be wrong.
+4 though, because of your aura.
Ooh,
Cool.
I only got a 9.
And you're out of
Let's see
luck,
what the wolf-
boy.
I know.
Sorry, I mean, I call you boy. That's disparaging.
And the wolf only got a 5. So
Okay. That is a fail, and a fail, and Henrietta, a fail with a 13. You all
Yeah,
failed. The rope cinches tight in this binding knot, and you're all pulled incredibly quickly and painfully together towards each other. So, Fenris, you get dragged a good, basically halfway point, and Henrietta, you get dragged away. You can do a athletics check to hang onto the rope onto the manacles if you want to.
Thank you. I was going to ask.
And can I get an
fine.
athletics check for the Hound of Ill Omen as well?
An 11.
All right, so the Hound gets dragged and bound up with you as you're all like cinched tight with the rope, just doing laps around you as it coils, like, and just cinching tight around you. The three of you binding you together, and the Arena stands is forced to stay next to Henrietta, her arms kind of out, and she smiles at Henrietta and takes a good look at you and says, "I'll remember you as well." And then she's going to spend her turn trying to escape from your grapple. First check, it is contested.
I will make an athletics check. Natural 20 for 32 total.
Oh, she pulls, thinking that'd be a cool, like, leaving line, and the chain pulls taut. She looks back, she's like, tries again. Do it again.
Yeah, I like look at her. I'm like, do you know more than you? Is this a dream for you too?
She kind of looks at you, puzzled.
You want to make another athletics check?
Yeah, please.
15 this time. That's beatable.
That's only a 13. So last time.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Another athletics check. I got 26.
Ooh, that's high. That is 26 for her as well.
I will,
Roll a 19.
as part of that line, right, try and discombobulate her. It's been my turn since, so I will use another cutting words.
Yeah.
Go for it. Nice.
Go for it.
So this is more a flavor thing. It's a 4.
Okay, so you win.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'll
she's
like,
just
adhere
held
that
in
whole
place. And
It's a dream for you too. Who
oh,
are you?
hold up. No, that's not really this thing. Hold on, that's not gonna work. Okay, never mind. I thought she could do a trick. All right, she's just hissing. She's like, "What are you talking about,
You trying to use your parry?
Muling
Yeah.
mortal?" All right, next up,
Perhaps not then.
Falurie.
Yes.
What do you want to do? You've just been run through.
Well, I'm gonna keep going.
All right, go for it.
We have to end it soon, though, man. I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, that's fair. So as you're pummeling, just Salik's just like, "You can't stop all of us. She told if we can bring her the artifact, she will grant us all of us everything we want. Everything. You can stop me, but you won't stop us all."
No, but we will stop her.
Okay, how'd your attacks go?
All right.
As we do like
it's
lots
still
of talking
going well
during
on
all
this.
this. What are your attacks and your wailings? Go ahead and make your rolls. We will wrap up quick.
All right.
I think this will be the last round.
No, that won't hit.
Nope. He's a slippery
try
little.
again. Fuck's sake. That won't hit.
9 and 10 is not going to help you.
Wow.
I'm gonna spend a key point to do flurry of blows.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
2 and a 3.
Or
13. No.
15?
13.
Oh, 13? It misses. Sorry. Very slippery. Thank you.
Now
Picker.
one.
And a nat 1.
Fuck it. Alright.
You're just like,
Wasn't meant to be.
Go
And
for
You
it.
can't
it's
change
not that you're
fate,
whiffing.
man. You can't change fate.
Yeah, it's not that you're whiffing. It's that it's one of those like he's blocking and like parrying all your shots, and the last one you're just so close, and at the very last second, he just covers it and just knocks the shot aside with a counter punch, and then looks at you. I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Snaps his fingers and just and misty steps.
All right.
And you're just like, can I get you to do a history or arcana or religion check for me? One of those.
Religion it is. Religion it is. Ah, fuck's sakes.
You can't buy a hit tonight. You're just like, artifact. You're just too upset right now to even be like, you're so close. All right. He is nowhere to be seen right now. He misty stepped somewhere. You can check the neighboring rooms. All right. At this point,
Fenris time.
Fenris, what do you want to do?
So hold on a second. Am I restrained or anything, or was I?
Yeah,
just dragged?
you are restrained.
No. Okay.
It's a magical
That's
rope of
together.
entanglement.
It's a magical rope.
It is.
Okay. I'm going to
Being a little-
misty step.
Sure. Nice. You can misty step too. You pass
will
each
misty
other in the
step.
mist realm with this other monk. Like, who is that?
Yeah.
That would be so weird.
Weird,
Just like go through each other. And you're like, who's that?
Misty step out of his like. This is like deja vu with
Yeah.
Henrietta.
Yeah.
You just misty step over to the side. You're no longer
then
restrained
with-
by the rope of
With my
entanglement.
bonus action, and then with my action,
I
I
like
will.
glance over at Fenris and back at the Fenris and just be like, I hate that, right? Like,
No, is that annoying? It's like you two can commiserate. Isn't that annoying? It's like,
It's really hard to grasp shadows.
it's like yeah, I get it. It's annoying. And then I'm going to. Is the Irenia still restrained?
She's
Yeah,
got the
I got her.
manacles.
She
Yeah.
tried 3 times on me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're still grappling her. I'm gonna firebolt her, but sorry, can I use my since we leveled?
Technically, no, because this is back when
Okay,
you're
well
level
then.
11.
Yeah,
We're-
yeah. Then
I didn't
won't-
make you
won't be
modify your rolls, so yeah, but no new
Yes.
abilities.
Got it. So I'm not gonna firebolt her and change it because everyone's immune to fire. I'm going to. Yeah, I will.
Pull out that dagger from before. Just walk up.
Oh, yeah, the non-magical dagger.
Yeah, it would be completely pointless.
Completely pointless. I am going to, with my action, cast Chill Touch on her.
All right.
So I guess I have advantage.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Let's see. First one is 21.
That hits.
Yeah, okay. It's 21. So she will take 3d8 necrotic.
Nice. Not immune to necrotic.
Oh, that's good to know. Boop. And she'll take 17 damage.
Nice.
So I have been really wailing on her.
Oh yeah, she's definitely showing she's got blood coming out of actually she's still got shadows seeping out, almost like vomit or like blood seeping out, but it's shadow dripping from her. Is that it went deep inside her lungs. All right, yeah, she's hurting. She's definitely hurting, but she's still up. All right,
And I'm going to just back off a bit.
Yeah.
Just to get some range.
all right,
Done.
and Henrietta, your turn.
I don't even know at this point. I'd love to be able to react to what's going on with Falurie, but I can't.
You think to yourself, I wonder what Falurie's doing right now. You are restrained.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, can I maybe I can't do this because I only really have the one hand. So just up to you. Can I try and like, I'm gonna like try and get her to drop the rope. It'd
So
probably
you
be
can
like
wrestle
like
with her to get the rope from her? Sure. You're
Yeah,
gonna need
I
an
wanna try
athletics
and-
check at disadvantage because you are restrained, but so is she. So it's disadvantage versus disadvantage.
I got 23.
Oh, damn. She got a 2. Well, plus.
Okay.
So
Taking her lasso.
you have her rope of entanglement.
I'm like, all right.
You wrest it from her, and she's like, all right.
You gonna talk now?
All right, you've managed to get the rope of entanglement out of her
Oh,
hands.
this is pointless. Why are we fighting in a dream?
All right,
Maggie!
next up is Salix. Oh, Salix already on the run, and so Woof and Sarnia.
Oh yes. Wolf is going to try to. He's restrained too, right?
He is,
Yeah,
yeah.
can I actually unentangle it when I grab the rope or no?
You have to be attuned
Like-
to it to make that happen.
Okay.
But out of
I
thought.
can't
Otherwise
be
it's
like,
an
gotcha,
action.
my second attack is undoing it. Okay, cool.
Oh, actually,
Actually-
if you've got another attack, yeah, I would allow that. If you have 2
Yeah, I have
attacks.
2 attacks, and grappling is an attack. So
Sure.
Okay.
I'd let you ungrapple with this.
Okay.
Cool.
So is the wolf free?
Yeah, Wolf is free.
Wolf is
Cool.
going to move over to her, and
Nom nom.
Boil it back up.
he's going to attack her.
Nice. So
At
it circles around. It's weird. You don't see the intervening steps. It's just
Totally.
it just
Kind of just goes
Yeah.
through. Actually, just
Yeah.
kind of goes through
It's
everybody.
just a little
and
wisp of cloud and shadow just moving around that spot. And go ahead and make your rolls.
24.
Ooh, that's a hit. Oh,
Okay.
man. You are
Uh,
beating the hell out.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Get it?
Let's see. 2d6 plus.
I was really hoping she was gonna die from that mind cage thing, so that I could be like,
Well, it does a hell of a lot of damage, man.
It
She
does.
took like 90.
yeah. But I was
Yeah.
also like really hoping that in character I could be like, I saw that kill somebody, but like I don't know, it did damage.
No, it does a lot.
It's
It does a lot of damage.
when someone dies,
She's
how are you
coughing
gonna know,
up smoke
right?
for a while. All right.
Yeah.
She took the hit from the wolf and is just limping the draggled. All right. Next up, Sarnia's turn. She is going to.
Talk to me.
She is. What's your strength,
Uh,
Henrietta?
my actual strength score is 18.
18. It's a tie, so we're just gonna do a contested roll. Strength only, though. This is strength on strength.
Strength only.
Yep.
I don't get my expertise anymore. All right.
This is literally just muscle on muscle.
24. How does that work? Oh, because I have jack of all trades. Still counts.
Right.
It's not proficient.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
how do I have 24?
24?
That being that 20. Yeah.
Okay. She rolled a 19 plus
Ooh.
4. It's 23.
It's 23.
All right, just for
She's
the
so
narrative's sake, though, she's dragging. She's trying to force move herself and you. And
Yeah.
so she's just dragging you closer to the edge. So she manages to get
Sure.
like 5 feet closer. So she's right
Yeah.
on that edge at this point and just leaning against your ropes. That was her first round. She's going to do it again. Go ahead and roll it again.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? This should be athletics. That's fair. So we will allow athletics on this. Sorry, my bad. You still
Alright.
won the last
Yeah,
round.
she like pulls to the edge, and I'm like, all right, let's stay here.
So go ahead with your
Um,
athletics,
Get
please.
get my feet in there.
Yep.
17.
Total?
Yeah, total.
Hey, she gets 23.
Can I use another cutting words?
Yeah, you can.
There you go.
All right, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I'm so done. I guess if I'm done, I'd be letting go. So that's the opposite of that, isn't it? I think I am. I think I am just done, and I'm just like, what is even the point of this? Like, I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
it's
the.
cutting
She
words.
said, "What is the point of this? That hurts me."
No,
roll
I
your
don't.
dice.
I don't think I do the cutting words. I don't.
No,
think
go for it.
that
Let's see what
Henrietta
happens.
has it. All right. Yeah, maybe I just say that.
Yeah,
Just
you
like,
just, what is the point of
even
this?
The point of this just throws her off. All right, that's a D8. Yeah. I don't even know
I'm
how
just
many
curious.
I have. I got
Oh
an
my
8.
god, you just rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8. You kept her steady. She's right up. So what's happening now is she's literally over the edge, hovering, like her wings flapping
Yeah.
and dragging you. And you're right on the edge, like just holding onto the manacles. Third and final attempt. Make your roll.
All right. And this, like, if I win this narratively, she has to get like pulled down onto me or something stupid like that.
Man.
29.
Oh, 29.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just like, "Fuh!" And then like she like collides with me. We both fall down
Yeah.
backwards.
She
Yeah,
she
good.
falls down on top of you, and like she just hisses and she's like, "Why don't you just die?" And okay, that's her turn. Damn.
If she was trying to kill me,
She's
Wow.
just not having a good day.
She's having an awful day, but our story is going on a long, long time. So,
She's
because
almost
we're out
over.
of time, here's what's going to happen. Falurie, you're looking for your assailant. You don't know where he went. Got an edge on you, and you now know it's definitely him, and he had Sarnia's help. Up on the top, after a little while, actually, I'm gonna say the Arrhenius is just tackled on top of. You know what? I'm curious. As she falls on top of Henrietta, she whispers in your ear and says,
yeah, I think I'm like flustered. Totally.
Look, I'll make you a deal. Let me go. And I'll owe you. Do you accept?
And you what? What'd you say?
and I'll owe you. Is what she said.
Oh, okay.
Let's make an insight check. Sounds like a fun way of dealing with this. I think if I get high, I'm too skeptical, and I don't. And if I get low, my naivete gets the better of me. I got a 16.
Pretty high.
Pretty good. Pretty
So it's
good.
not
Here's-
bad, actually.
Here's the thing.
Better than expected.
A deal from a devil in a dream.
Yeah.
Would that count?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea that, like,
You could have a marker on.
Henrietta's in a position that is, like, has her flustered and, like, she's suddenly, like, off her feet and, like, not expecting what's going on. And, like, weirdly enough, in her head, she's like, this person hasn't been really trying to kill us. She's been grappling and stuff like that. And, like, not actually, like, everything has been, like, weirdly non-lethal, right? Which is surprising to her.
I was just using kid gloves.
Yeah, doing
I'm
131
gonna-
damage.
Yeah. I'm gonna let my naivete win here because I think that's more interesting. Oh,
You
do
let
it,
go
come
of the
on.
chain. Her wings just flap, and she just. It looks like you slip, and she pulls back. She goes. She doesn't go
I would
high.
argue.
She goes low, and just.
I would argue that the hound should get an attack of opportunity to try and grab her.
Sure. Or well, a damage or something.
Yeah, I think the hound will
Yep,
try to
go for
grab
it.
her and restrain her.
Yep.
So he's gonna try to grab her
Sure.
because
go ahead,
he's
make a
not
roll.
listening to her.
No.
He's like, so what is it? Is it an attack or is it a strength roll?
Let's go with an attack. To actually bite on again. 'Cause you weren't.
Yeah,
current with
16.
it. 16?
Oh, he gets advantage.
Sure.
Sorry. Because he has his pack thingy. Thank you, pack mate. Oh, 16.
16 with advantage, and she parries. That's her reaction. She adds 4 to her AC against one melee attack, and boom, knocks the wolf hard on the snout and just flies not up, back, and then drops and just backwards sailing like so as to
I
clear
still have
the
a
edge.
rope, right?
Yeah, you've got a rope, and in fact, you can add that
Cool.
to your inventory because you wake up
I
and it's
will.
underneath, like one of your cloak when you woke up, and so cut back
Yeah.
to when you're riding
I
on the
think like nobody
hellscape.
notices that either. Like I don't think I brought it out. I don't think anyone
No.
saw me take it. Yeah, it's just like
Yep,
there.
you just have it, and so back on
I like
hell
look at it in my hand.
in Avernus,
after
you have the
some time.
item, rope of entanglement, as she falls away before anybody could stop her, and literally falling. So it's like really fast, just slightly soaring out. See you again.
Till
And
next
we'll
time.
See you again. All right. It's
Till
late.
next time, I'm gonna kick your ass again.
You're gonna start like a
I
board
like
that says,
it.
"It has been 0 days since we kicked the Avernus's ass."
Fenris, she is
Yeah.
pissed.
Oh, she's so
we-
mad
we-
at you. Please
You
note
see
down.
Henrietta like slowly getting up to her feet, and she just like
What's that?
looks over at Fenris like, who's that?
And please
She
mark,
deserves
it.
mark
Reply.
down, Henrietta, you have a favor.
Favor.
That was a
Beautiful
deal.
sign.
All right.
Beautiful
And
sign.
I have like probably like now two strikes against me, or three. I can't remember. Of like vendetta. One of these days, she's just gonna go gunning for me. It's like,
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
you.
All right, and we'll resolve that next time. Perhaps as a side quest into a dreamscape, perhaps on the plains of Avernus. We'll figure it out. But thanks very much for joining us tonight, guys. That was a lot of fun.
That was
and
a lot of fun. Thanks for
I-
hosting.
Yeah.
And
No, I
Carl,
had a good
I'm
time.
super glad we got to dig into some of your backstory. I was prepping these maps and thinking, I'm never going to be able to do this. I wonder. And then all of a sudden, I'm
Yeah,
like,
this was a
wait.
good idea.
That was fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I know that you wanted to do a story with Falurie in the Dreamscape, and it just didn't come up. So,
No, there's a lot.
This is really good.
There's a lot
This was
that I'm
really
just
good.
like, yeah. I'm so excited. All right, and I hope you can join us again, guys, in a week, Thursday. Probably another D&D. I'm thinking, but we do we do Shadowrun as well, and so we'll tune in for another Shadowrun soon. And thanks very much for playing, guys, and thanks for watching. Thanks for the suggestions, Grimdor 333. For cashing in those plot points just in time. That made it nice. Secondly, set up for the cinch attack. I love it. And then thanks
good.
very much for the follow, Heather Great. If you're hanging in there, that'd be great. And do we have a title for the episode? What do you guys think? Or internet. Or I can
Birds of a feather.
That's good.
Birds of feather flock together.
That's
No, just birds of
a feather. I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
good too.
That's awesome.
Back
Thank
to
you.
yours.
Thank you,
Wow.
Gordon. All right, well, thanks everybody for playing. We're SideQuest Live, and we will be back in about a week, assuming life doesn't, be lifey. All right.
All right, guys.
Good night,
Thanks
everybody.
again.
Good night.
And thanks,
Yeah.
Internet. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and we will see you again soon. Cheers. SideQuest Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. We try to record all of our games as much as possible, whether that's Dungeons & Dragons or Shadowrun or another tabletop role-playing game. Just a quick side note about all the licenses and copyrights involved. Our music is all Creative Commons attribution music on our live stream video feed or YouTube replay or Twitch VOD. We always attribute each individual artist, so be sure to check out those individual artist attributions. Lots of love to so many people who make their work available so that we can do what we do. So thank you. It influences our game. It makes it immeasurably better. So much appreciation for them. Let's not forget the makers of the games. Dungeons & Dragons is copywritten by Wizards of the Coast. They own it. They make it available to all of us to play, and it's wonderful. We are in no way affiliated with them, and nor do they endorse this podcast, but we are very appreciative. The other game we often play is Shadowrun, which is Catalyst Games. And again, we are not affiliated with them and they do not endorse us, but we really appreciate their game and we hope you appreciate our game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube and watch for those live games once we're streaming them out. And of course, we do accept suggestions for names, so please hit us up on Instagram and name our stuff. All right, thanks so much. I'm Todd, and this has been SideQuest Live. We'll see you again soon.